Hey, so since TikTok is back, a couple quick thoughts. Number one, everyone was freaking out, and you should never freak out about something. You're always going to find a way. There's a story about Hannibal Barca, one of the best generals of all time, who almost single-handedly conquered Rome. And he was a general of Carthage, which was the previous empire before Rome. And Rome actually stole the ships from Carthage, right? They eventually attacked so many Carthaginian ships that they got one, towed it back to Rome, and then they improved upon it. Kind of like what TikTok has been doing all this time. They've just been taking our social media and they just improved upon it, and then they resold it to the American public. That's why the ban went into effect. It was because China essentially has a better algorithm than what our social media was doing. I get it, you can't ban free speech. China takes whatever data or puts whatever data into their bigger algorithm to make everything better. But they resold it back to the American public, right? And even though it was down for like 8 to 12 hours, whatever, 18 hours, people are now rejoicing. But the problem was that you were so emotionally invested in TikTok, like you are with other things, like you are with people and outcomes. And then when it's out of your control, you lose your complete emotional stability. Anyways, back to Hannibal Barca. So Hannibal was tasked with fighting the war against Rome. And his idea was that he was going to go north because Carthage was in Africa and it was the southern part of the Mediterranean. This is like 200, 300 BC. Hannibal Barca actually went up through Spain and France and into Switzerland, and then he crossed the Alps. And the other generals that were with Hannibal basically said, hey, we shouldn't do this. It's a bad idea. Look at those mountains. There's no way. And Hannibal said, I will either find a way or make one. Famous quote. I have that tattooed on my body in Latin. And Hannibal crossed the Alps with elephants, all of his, war horses, every animal that you could imagine that an army of Africa would have. And they famously crossed the Alps. And when they got through the side of the Alps, they started attacking these northern, Roman towns. And he told those people, he said, hey, you're not my enemy. You can either join me or you can let us through. Our enemy is with Rome. Hannibal got within 11 miles of Rome, and Rome was freaking out. This whole time, they were building up an army because what they ended up doing was sending an army to the south to attack Carthage head on. Pretty smart. So word got back to Hannibal as he was approaching within Rome of 11 miles. He actually got called back to defend Carthage. If he had attacked Rome didn't have the fortifications or the defenses to the north to be able to handle an army of Hannibal's size. And he reluctantly headed back to go defend Carthage. He was defeated back in Africa, and then he was eventually exiled and killed while he was in, I think it was Asia at this time. Anyways, pretty famous story, really cool. That's a quote you should take away from this is, I will either find a way or make one. Don't get emotionally focused on one platform. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and build that into your mantra. Hey, I'm either going to find a way or make one. You're never defeated. You're never out of power. You're never out of opportunities. You're just not choosing to see the windows, to see the path elsewhere for you to go. Okay? There's your history lesson for Sunday. Go look that story up. It's true. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. Hannibal Barca, Carthage, Rome. He got super close. Imagine how much history would have changed if he tackled that shit. Something to think about. See you guys in the next one.